apartment pack coming out and also me being about to enter my Christmas era, I am going to be so annoying for the next month. I'm warning you now, every other build's gonna be like apartment Christmas, apartment Christmas. I am gonna be thriving in December, and at this point, we're kind of just counting down the days. So I thought it might be kind of fun to do one final fall build. I actually really enjoy fall, and I especially love building in autumn in The Sims. The trees just look so beautiful. It's so fun and cozy to build lots like this. So we are currently on this 30 by 20 lot where there's usually a starter home in Windenburg. I've instead moved Jeffrey Landgrab there and bulldozed it so that we can build something. Hey Jeffrey, it's me and Nancy. Do you want to go on a date? No, I'm busy. So I guess the goal today is like slightly Tudor inspired house that is really decked out for autumn. Also, I don't want to give us a budget, but like maybe we could try to keep this house somewhat reasonably priced, because I have a big problem with making very small houses that are very expensive. So it'd be nice if this was like decently affordable still. Okay, I realize that this is looking incredibly strange, but just hear me out for a second because I do kind of have a vision. Oh, that's really tall. That is really tall in a bad way. Maybe it should be smaller. I really wanted to have a hidden second floor, but I am starting to realize that I don't think that's gonna work out. In fact, let's just start over. Let's just try again. Over the years, I've really learned that sometimes you have to bulldoze things a couple times before you learn what works, and this is one of those times. Okay, this was really not my intention, but all of a sudden this house is really small, so maybe it's a starter home. If I end up keeping this shape, we don't really have that much space to work with, so that might end up being for the best. So I had in my head this vision of like a thatched roof with some Tudor wallpapers. I like this sort of orangey colored wood trim because that kind of fits with the autumn vibes. I unfortunately do not like the downstairs wallpaper, and I kind of think that it looks bad, so I'm gonna have to rethink that. But the vision I have involves this fancy wallpaper only on the top floor. Let me cheat the budget down a little bit and we'll see if we can make this work. I might end up cheating for money, so let's not get our hopes up too high just yet, but we'll see what we can do for now. And then I thought I might get these kind of cute little supports to put right here because the roof has a sort of overhang like this. Does that really not come in the same colors? Oh my god. Oh my god, why does the game do this? Every single time I play The Sims 4, I encounter some new missing swatch somewhere, and every single time it makes me want to cry. Okay, those columns are probably a waste of money, but I'm gonna put them there anyway because it looks better. You're joking. This also does not come in the right swatch. I think I'm gonna use this window because I like that it has the shutters on it, and then I'll try and put some other windows around the sides. In the back, it might be nice if we had like some sort of little back door. But before I get too far into this, I want to really quickly tell you a little bit about the sponsor of today's YouTube video, Casify. You probably know this by now, but I have been a huge fan of Casify for a long time, and I actually just got a really cool new phone case that I wanted to show you. Their impact case just got a huge feature upgrade because it now includes a camera ring stand. This functions like a kickstand, so you can open the ring around the camera and then use it to prop up your phone. To be honest, I don't think I ever really realized that this is something that I might want until I got it and then started using it. When I was getting ready this morning, I had my phone propped up on the counter next to me playing a video. I was doing the same thing last night while I was cooking dinner. I've been watching a lot of City Skylines 2 videos recently, and the thing is, I could like put it on the TV, but then it's behind me in the kitchen, and if I do it this way, then I can see it, and so yeah, it's been very useful. I also sometimes FaceTime my sister when I'm like hanging around the house or working on things, and I usually just like put my phone down somewhere on the table and she's just staring at the ceiling, but this way I can prop my phone up so she can actually see me. So this impact ring stand has been incredibly useful for me. It's also still super low profile and really protective, and they've got a ton of really cute cases on their website. So if you're interested in checking out Casify, you can go to casify.com/lilsimsie for 10% off your order. I'm gonna have that link down below for you. And thanks again to Casify for sponsoring today's video. And with that, let's go ahead and jump straight back into the build. Okay, we are back, and I am wasting money on little pieces of decor that I probably don't need. So I put some more of those little supports right here. I might get a matching window in the back, kind of like this. I'll probably put the back door over here. And then that'll probably do for all of the basic exterior stuff. I am gonna need some chimney stone, which annoyingly, I don't really want to use the stuff that comes in the pack, but maybe that one will work. Okay. This is actually kind of cute. I must say, I kind of like it. On the inside of the house, I'm thinking we could probably get 2 bedrooms. That might be like slightly wishful thinking, but no, this will work, I think. Maybe. This will maybe work. Hold on, what if the kitchen is kind of like here? And no, the chimney's in a very annoying place for that. Wait, pause, hold on. I'm trying to think of places I can put kitchen cabinets. It can be a quite small kitchen. It's just that all the ideas don't work. Well, the main problem is just the chimney, and here's the thing. I personally don't really care if the fireplace and the chimney are lined up. The chimney to me is more of like a decorative feature. So it doesn't really bother me that much if the chimney is in the right place or whatever. So obviously I'll change the furniture that I'm using, but here's kind of what I'm thinking for the main layout. I think I'll use this sort of like orangish toned wood door for all of the rooms. And then we've got one bathroom right here, a kid's bedroom, the primary bedroom, and then a decent sized living space. Somehow this all came together extremely easily. I kind of want to use a sort of orangish toned wood floor. Ooh, yikes. I hate this wood floor. To me, that is genuinely ugly. I know that I'm being a bit dramatic when I say that, but I just don't like it. These cabinets also have very limited swatch choices. I'm trying to limit the packs that I'm using a tiny bit, but I've already used cottage living on the roof, so I might as well use cottage living again inside. And that's kind of what I was picturing for the kitchen. I might even put like a stone or something there. That might be kind of nice. I don't really know. I'm not really sure what I'm going for. Oh, hold on. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I should probably buy a staircase. We are gonna need one of those, so it might be nice to just put that in now before I forget. And a little pro tip for staircases in cheap houses is to delete the underside because you get some money back from it. I think I will use this same tile in the bathroom. I'm quite tempted to use like this seasoned sink in here. It's $310, so it's kind of expensive, but I don't really ever branch out with the kinds of sinks that I'm using for my Sims. Annoyingly, the faucets on these two things don't match, but I can't afford to use a more expensive tub. So we might just have to deal with that, which is really annoying. I'm sorry. Whenever I build starter homes like this, I like to go in and make sure that I've bought all the stuff that I really care about. So in this case, I want to make sure that I've paid for the chairs. I want to have a computer. That bed is 1,600 simoleons. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. This rug kind of has autumn vibes, right? Do you think I can make that work? Yeah, I don't really know. It's all very brown and not necessarily in a good way. I think that brown leather sofa probably makes the most sense though. I'm kind of looking through all of the seasons get together and cottage living stuff as I'm doing this, just trying to see what would maybe make the most sense. Should I use a fireplace instead of having a TV? Fireplace is cheaper than a TV because it's only 500 instead of buying like a TV and a TV stand. Oh, and with the fireplace, I could decorate the mantle with some season stuff. Okay, that's actually gonna be really cute, I think. So we'll do it like that. I will also get you a coat rack because I think that would be kind of nice to have. Makes it look a bit more realistic. And I think your Sims can still walk through this. I don't actually know. It's really tight. And I've now spent way more money than we probably should have. I've not bought any wallpaper. Like, we're struggling with this. Okay, well, for starters, in the kids' room, I've always seen this wallpaper as being kind of fall vibes. Maybe I'll do that and I'll give them a carpet because I don't like how the wood looks with the wood floor. That's so ugly. I'm trying to use a bed that's like not too expensive but still looks good. This kid might have to have like a million windows in their room, which isn't a bad thing. They should be happy about that. Oh my god. Why is it so hard to decorate these rooms? I've tried a million different rug options and I'm feeling like maybe it's impossible to decorate this room. I think I'm just struggling to mix and match this together. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's so ugly. I don't know if I've ever used that wallpaper. If we combine that with like this sort of ugly bed swatch, I mean that in like a good way, by the way. It might not sound like it, but I'm trying to really channel this autumnal cottage vibe. I just spent 500 simoleons on a rug. That is ridiculous. I don't know what I'm thinking. I've never liked this season's painting. I always try to use it and it's just like, it's kind of weird. This is the kind of thing that I was picturing for the mantle, by the way. I really like this little candle item. So here's a fun pro tip. If you're trying to get items placed onto a mantle and they're not slotting to the right height, if you've got move objects on, you can try and slot them to a different shelf and then get that shelf at the right height and then just move them off and they'll place exactly where you want them to be. Because sometimes if you raise them up and down using like the 9 key, then they get a little bit too high. You see how that's kind of floating? It isn't really that big of a deal, but if that bothers you, using an item like this is kind of a pro tip. There is actually a mod for this. It's called the red shelf mod, but it is doable without a mod if you've got some of these packs that have shelves and stuff in them. You just have to experiment a little bit to see which shelves have things that you can slot to it easily. All right, I'm gonna put some pumpkins by the front door, kind of like this. I think I will probably also put some pumpkins on the kitchen counter, kind of like this. That makes this counter completely useless, and that's okay because it looks cute. If I put this cornucopia thing here, I think that your Sims can't eat at this table. I think that it fills the entire table and makes it useless. So that's honestly pretty bad. That is not a good thing. Maybe I'll put it over here instead because we do still want the table to be functional. Oh, it's floating. Does this slot to this shelf? No. See, this is the problem. Sometimes the trick doesn't work. That's okay. I'll let it float. I don't really care. There are a lot of decals. I don't know if like these are good with the freezer bunny, but maybe some of these might be okay. Oh, honestly, that's kind of interesting. I don't really know. I'm not sure about that actually. Some of these are really cute though. You kind of forget that a lot of them exist. Like go back, that one with the little panda, that's adorable. I really don't use these decals very much. I feel like they're super good for like kids' rooms, and I've used the one with the pumpkin. Last year I built a pumpkin patch and I used this almost like a sign for the pumpkin patch. I put it as like the logo or whatever, and that kind of worked. But otherwise it's rare that I'll put those in like my regular houses. Okay, big problem everybody. I do not have a trash can outside and I still have not painted the walls. So this is not going that well actually. It's a 2-bedroom house. So you'd have more than one sim here, right? So I can get myself 2,000 more simoleons, because when you start with 2 sims, you get 22,000. Wow, it's a good thing the whole house is beige. This is so sad looking. What if I used like, I don't know, does this wallpaper make sense as a backsplash in the kitchen, or is that really strange? It doesn't really look good with the floor that I have. Again, sometimes you just have to experiment a little bit with these Sims builds. It's not always gonna work on the first try. That's all right, and I'll just leave that one counter open so that your Sims can cook. Oh, this is only 150. Okay, that's really good. We can use that. Cheap artwork. I need something to put on this table. I'm just not really sure what. Oh, maybe a tea set. Oh, it's got little mushrooms. That's actually really good. Okay, I think that the living room space might be done. I'd like to replace the lights, but before I do that, I'm gonna really quickly just make sure that I finish the rest of the house because I'm worried about messing this up and then not having anything anywhere. There is like a little fall curtain swatch. I don't know if that's super ugly or not, but it might be cute because the bathroom is kind of plain to add in something like that. 125 simoleons for these curtains. Doesn't that seem ridiculous to you? 80 simoleons for these lamps. Oh, it's so expensive. Oh my god, why did I do a starter home? That was so not smart of me. This was so easily avoidable as well. Okay, what if there's like no back stairs? Did that even save me money? It feels like it didn't. I'm really not helping myself with the pack choices I've made because like look at the rug options. Well, am I gonna use that in here? No. I don't think I've ever used this rug in my life. Ever. Oh wait, welcome mat. That's so cute. Okay, that's one more thing that I did not need to spend money on that I did anyway. Maybe I can rework this bedroom a little bit. One of the things that I'm not liking is how low the bed frame is because it feels like there's not really anything above the bed and I can't afford a lot of decorations. So reworking it like that is maybe good because then it means that we don't need to have art above the bed. Cheap mirror. Oh, this mirror is quite cheap. It's only 100 simoleons, so we can get that. And then maybe I'll just put a big plant or something in here. It's kind of giving dark and scary basement bedroom at your grandma's house. And maybe I'm just speaking from personal experience when I say that, but it looks to me like a dark and scary bedroom at my grandma's house, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes that's fun. I'm not really obsessed with this bed. I think that's another problem I'm having. It's also kind of expensive, so if I can maybe do one that's cheaper, I mean, where does that leave us? It leaves us with ugly beds from the base game. But this one almost feels more fall. Well, now this room is kind of screaming the guest room at my grandma's house that she decorated for kids years and years and years ago. But that's okay too. That's not a bad thing. It's the rug. I can't with the rug. I'm back to carpet. I don't know. This room has to stay. I can't think about it anymore. I don't know what else to do for it. Well, now I have 89 simoleons to finish the entire exterior, so we're gonna have to break out some T-bug landscaping. Thankfully, it's kind of gross outside because of the fall, so we can get away with not using as much landscaping as maybe I normally would because it's all gonna be dead anyway, or at least dying. So even though I would normally want to have more landscaping, I think we can probably do with a little bit less just because of the situation. Cause like, what are you gonna do? Put this dirty dead bush everywhere? No, that's no fun. Nobody likes that. So I've chosen to limit this to just 3 packs, and thankfully the packs that I decided to use are probably 3 of the best packs for debug landscaping. So that's gonna help us out a lot. I'm kind of trying to fill in the lot mostly because I'm not gonna put much of a backyard because we can't afford it. So I'm kind of just trying to get a lot of trees out here. Oh, the mushrooms are gonna be really good for this. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of mushrooms. I really like these debug stones, so I kind of want to use these as the front walkway. The problem is they don't really line up to the edge of the lot, but I don't know if that matters that much. I'd also like to get some sort of orangey red flowers. See, like this wheelbarrow, I think that would be so cute to use in the front yard. It has the cute yellow flowers, it's got the wood, so I might put that somewhere. And then the base game has this debug flower bush. I don't really like the shape of it for this build so much, but I like the colors. They're kind of red in normal seasons, and then in the fall, obviously they're looking kind of orange, but that's just because everything in the fall has like a brown tint to it. But we can use those in the front, I guess. Oh my god, that is so ugly. We just can't use that. We can't. It doesn't look very good, but I guess I just have to accept the fact that like I'm not gonna find stuff that looks good in this season. It just doesn't. It's not necessarily unrealistic either, so it makes sense. It's just that like I would prefer in this ideal world for things to still be green but also brown at the same time, which just doesn't make any sense. That's just not how the world works. Maybe this is like a Florida problem. Maybe my little Florida brain can't comprehend what real seasons are supposed to look like. Living in Florida is a curse for many reasons, but perhaps this is one of them. I'm just not the smartest about seasons apparently. Ooh, look at how that looks in the fall. That's so weird. Should I put some of that around too, just to fill in the yard space? I don't know if that looks bad or not. I'm not sure. Well, that gives me more space to put mushrooms, so that's kind of cute. And then hopefully some terrain paint will help make this place look a little bit more finished. Honestly, I think it's cute. I like the color scheme. We have 289 extra simoleons if I wanted to spend that anywhere on the inside. I might even spend that extra money on some better light fixtures. Even just one in the living room can go a long way. There's a little cabinet from Seasons. We can put that in the bathroom for some more decor. I've got a little bit of extra money so I can put a couple more toys for the kid. And then maybe that is the finished build. Okay, an autumnal starter home, sort of, because it's 22,000 simoleons, but that's fine. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. I'm actually quite proud of this. Sorry about the price. Well, I mean, I set out trying to make like a 40,000 simoleon house. So if anything, this worked out quite well. It's even more usable than that. And it's got sort of limited packs. What did I do? No, island living. Did I use the island living roof trim? Oh no, I used the island living roof trim by accident. I knew something looked weird about it when I put it down. Oh my god. Okay, well, of course I did. Whatever. I'm gonna end the video here. Please don't judge me. If you liked this video, I do a lot of Sims builds here on my YouTube channel, so make sure you're subscribed. Thank you again to Casify for sponsoring today's video, and if you're interested in buying a new phone case, you can go to casify.com/lilsimsie for 10% off your order. I'm of course gonna have that link down below for you. And now I'm gonna go before I embarrass myself further. So I will catch you all tomorrow, okay? Bye everybody. That is so funny. When I put it down, I was like, wow, the trim looks kind of weird, but I fully thought I had the cottage living one because it matched. The color was the same.